What's good, everyone? It's your favorite officer, Sergeant. Be safe. Today, we're diving into a wild ride through the school and tackling some serious issues. Let's keep it real. Let's follow young Malik Mystic as he meets with treacherous Tony.
Yo, Tony, what's poppin' with these pills? You trying to be the new doctor in town?
Just a little something to take the edge off, Malik. You want to feel like you're floating on a cloud? Pretty soon, all the kids in his school are going to come to me for pills.
Whoa, I'm feeling like I just drank Grandma's secret potion. I'm lit.
Malik? You look like you just came from a family reunion where they ran out of food. What's going on?
I'm lit.
Malik, you're not yourself. We need to get you to the nurse before you start dancing like it's nobody's business.
Oh my god.
It must be the stuff I got from treacherous Tony.
What?
Drugs. I hate drugs.
Mr. Powell, Malik is acting really strange. I think he's been hitting the wrong kind of snacks.
Sergeant, be safe. We're glad you're here. We need to handle this before it turns into a not-so-funny episode of school drama.
Looks like we've got a situation at the school. Malik's got some bad vibes in him, and we need to find out where it came from.
Let's roll, partner. Time to show these wannabe gangsters that we don't play. Let's mount up. It's time we get them. Let's go.
All right, Clay, time for some tactical moves. We're about to crash this party like we're the last ones to leave the cookout.
Uh-oh. It's the safety squad. I thought we were just having a little chill time.
You're under arrest for dealing illegal substances. This isn't a club, Tony.
Nice try. But I'm built like a fridge. And I'm not letting you slide out.
All right, fam. Let's talk about the dangers of drugs. They might seem cool, but they can turn you into a walking meme. Nobody wants that.
But what if someone offers you drugs?
Great question. Always say no. Keep your head clear and your dreams even clearer. You weren't born to be a cautionary tale.
Thanks, Sergeant. Be safe. Next time, I'll just stick to my video games and TikTok dances.
Stay safe, stay smart, and remember, if you see something suspicious, call your local hero. Until next time, keep it lit.
And don't forget, treacherous Tony and his crew ended up going to jail. And that's your tip of the day to get you on your way.
The best advice anyone ever gave me was 2 words. You can't. And you know what my response was? 2 words. Watch me.
All right, let me get to the big. There we go, the big screen. I'm up on here. Thank you guys, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to another weekly show of the podcast Black and Blue. The podcast is just for you, where we go live weekly at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And when we go live with a special guest who's either in law enforcement or a first responder. And it doesn't matter if they're rookie season or retiree. We talk about their trainings, experiences, and their publications. But before we get into the full intro, before we get into the entire show, I appreciate everyone who's already in the comment section. I appreciate all of you that are there right now. I want to give this moment that's very important because a lot of you know that's in this area. We had a huge tragedy happen yesterday, actually. Yesterday, about a county over, where a lot of law enforcement officers were ambushed trying to serve some paperwork. And of those law enforcement officers, 3 of them are no longer with us. And I believe 2 or 3 of them are also injured or wounded. And it's a horrifying to hear the news. I know there's others out there that either know of or know some of the officers that were involved. And my heart goes out to all of you. But right now, I just want to give that moment of silence to give them the credence they deserve. So in due fashion, here we go. And shout out to them, that department and their families. Again, our hearts go out to you. Our condolences as well. May Godspeed be with all of you. And thank you guys, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Thank you guys for tuning in. This is the podcast, of course, where we go live at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I see we got a couple people in here. We see Lisa's in here. Thank you for tuning in. Seti P's in here. Thank you for tuning in. Got good evening, all. We got our guests already commenting in here. We got the guy who connected us, Jimmy Jamon Johnson. Nelson, my bad. My fault. This is my homeboy too, so I know I'm going to hear about it later. He's tuning in, and I know where he's at. It's very early in the morning. That it is definitely sad news, and thank you for making the connection, and thank you for tuning in. Yes. So therefore, we're streaming on 5 different platforms. We're on 5 different platforms. We're on 2 on Facebook, or on 3 on Facebook, with either Clark Tent, Coach Clear, Black and Blue. We're also on the OneWay publishing page. We're on LinkedIn. It's the Clee Tillman page. We're on YouTube under the Black and Blue page. So make sure y'all tag, like, share, subscribe to them. Let me know where you're at. The few people that know the rules, put your comments in the comment section. If you just want your name and where you're from, if you just want a shout out, put your name and where you're from in the comment section. We'll give you the shout out that you're looking for. We'll get right to it. But I got a heck of a show lined up for you, all of you guys, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, because like I told you before. Well, let me get the intro out. I'm all over the place because today was a crazy day, and yesterday was a crazy day. But this is the podcast where we go live with a first responder weekly, and when we do that, we're not gonna fall short. We're talking about another book. We're talking about another experience with that, and I can't wait to jump into it. Last week we had the show about 9/11. And I told you that I was going to be visiting Fort Indiantown Gap and doing some helicopter trainings and helicopter crash emergency evacuation type deals. And it was a lot of fun because it took me back to my Army days from when I was in long time ago. And I even remember jumping from some of these helicopters, being airborne qualified. I was a rigger as well, so I had to inspect some of those. And that was a lifetime ago. Please, if you ask me any questions, I'll just take me at my word, because most of the stuff I probably don't remember anymore. I do remember the experience. But actually going to the Gap and being a part of that training was surreal because it's good training. I got to meet a lot of new people. I got to see a lot of the equipment and actually get on the equipment. I told you guys I'd make a video and let you see that. So we're going to jump right into that. I'm going to forego the remainder of the intro because I know we're going to have a dynamic show, and I know you guys want to get to that show as well. So here we go with this video.
Standing military helicopter emergency training, a personal perspective. As a proud veteran of the Army and a seasoned police officer, my experiences have shaped my understanding of the unique challenges faced during military helicopter emergencies. My time as a parachute rigger, where I completed over 100 jumps, has instilled in me a deep appreciation for airborne operations, particularly concerning the aircraft that serve our communities. The upcoming training event hosted by the Pennsylvania National Guard on September 11th, 2025, emphasizes the importance of familiarizing first responders with military helicopters and the essential skills required to manage emergencies effectively. Throughout my military service, I became acutely aware of the intricacies involved in handling aircraft incidents. The training modules offered during the event provide invaluable knowledge tailored to first responders, including firefighters, EMS personnel, and police officers. This experience not only enhances our operational readiness, but also fosters strong collaborative relationships between the Pennsylvania Army National Guard and our community partners. As we prepare to engage with the CH-47 Chinook, UH-60 Blackhawk, and UH-72 Lakota, we elevate our understanding of the potential hazards we may encounter. Module 1, focusing on systems and material hazards, is particularly significant for firefighters and HAA operations. It identifies unique hazards present during aircraft accidents, which can greatly inform our approach to scene management. The realities of working in such high-stakes environments necessitate a comprehensive understanding of personal protective equipment, PPE, and biohazard considerations. Acknowledging combustion concerns and material hazards ensures that we are not only prepared for immediate response, but also for the lingering threats that may arise during rescue operations. As we transition to Module 2, the emphasis on aircraft type familiarization and mission-specific hazards is essential for recognizing the variations in service and the associated risks. My background in aviation has provided me with insight into the commercial roles of small aircraft and helicopters, equipping me with the knowledge to assess the dangers present in various scenarios. This module serves as a critical resource for first responders, enabling us to make informed decisions in the field. The Command and Recovery module, aimed at law enforcement and HAA personnel, deepens our understanding of accident scene management. As a detective, I understand the importance of maintaining scene integrity and adhering to operational protocols. This training will refine our skills in managing the complexities of an accident investigation, ensuring that we are equipped to navigate the demands of the NTSB and FAA while preserving critical evidence. Modules focused on ballistic parachute system, familiarization, and systems hazards for rescuers provide a practical foundation for first responders. Familiarity with these systems is crucial as they present unique challenges during emergencies. Understanding the operation and disabling techniques of these safety systems will empower responders to act decisively when every second counts. In conclusion, the military helicopter emergency training being offered by the Pennsylvania National Guard represents a vital opportunity for first responders like myself. Drawing from my experiences in the military and law enforcement, I recognize the significance of this training in enhancing our operational capabilities. Together, we will build a more resilient and prepared community, ready to face the challenges posed by military aircraft emergencies. As we approach this training event, I am reminded of the commitment we share in serving and protecting our communities. I look forward to the knowledge and relationships that will emerge from this valuable experience.
Why does it always do that? You know, it always makes the little screen first. But there you have it. That's what I did on 9/11. It's more detailed than that. A lot of things I couldn't show out of respect, of course. I couldn't show the inside of the hangars itself. Couldn't show the inside, how things were broken apart, how things were accessed in case of an emergency. I got to be real surface level, which is fine, which is cool. It was a pretty amazing experience. The instructors were great. They were able to break things down to me. You know, I tell, if you can't explain to me like I'm a 3-year-old or a Cocker Spaniel, then you know I don't need all the big words and the mumbo jumbo. Just break it down to a level where it's very understandable, because you know you're gonna sink to your level of training. You don't rise above the situation most time. So in a critical incident, I want to just be able to just go and react. I don't want to have to think step 1, step 2, step 3 and be slowed down. I want to just be able to go and fire off on all cylinders. And that training, I believe I'm able to do so if a situation like that would happen. And all right, so I'm gonna have that video posted up on the YouTube page as well. If you have any questions on that, any first responders that want to attend it next year, I'll make sure that the link's already in the last week's caption, but we'll just get at me and I'll make sure you get that, because it is a good experience if nothing else, and it is good training. But I also wanted to let you guys know there is, if you go to the website, workwithclee.com, I know I said I wasn't going to do that, but it's scrolling below. If you go to the website, do it after. Don't do it right now. I did upload a free ebook there for you. So if you check the website out, there's a brand new free ebook for you to check out for law enforcement and first responders. All right. I think I took up enough time for the intro and the videos there. So now we get to jump into the meat and potatoes of this podcast right here. Thank you guys, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I'm excited to have this person here. He's already made a comment in the comment section. He's done over 30 years in the United States Army. He's retired as a command sergeant major, ladies and gentlemen. He's empowered other veterans. His number one mission was to make the best version of themselves, and he's still doing that now. He was a former marketing director, and he would use his skills to connect, uplift, and guide vets and to better the community, and he's still doing that now. Ladies and gentlemen, it's not easy to actually start, finish, complete, and publish your own book. And he did just that. He's got his very own book. Don't talk about it, be about it. I got my copy. Make sure you guys get yours. The link will be in the description box, but we're going to talk about that right now. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'm going to bring him to the stage. Garrett Griffin. Garrett, are you there?
I'm here, my brother. Hey, waiting patiently, man. Waiting patiently.
I know I took up some time. I appreciate your patience, and I appreciate you making yourself available and coming on the show. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself, please?
Man, I don't even know where to start. I think you'd have told it all, man. You'd have told it all. But hey, I share some of the stuff that you didn't share. So I'm from the great state of Alabama, Roll Tide. But I currently reside in Katy, Texas. This is where me and my wife elected to retire in Katy, Texas. Like you said, I did 30 years in the Army. Retired as a command sergeant major. I was an ordnance guy within the Ordnance Corps, man, and 3 kids, 2 boys and a girl right now, man. Well, they ain't kids. If they hear that, they'll be mad at me. They grown adults, because the youngest will be 28 this year, man. So they don't want to be called kids. But just out here, man, I'm retired, but I'm not expired. So I'm still, as long as I still got blood in my body and the good Lord give me breath to breathe, I'm gonna keep on doing what I'm doing. And that's me in a nutshell.
Yeah, and you can hear the motivation coming through his voice. And I'm glad that, for one, you got the experiences. I know I still call my kids as well, and both of them are adults. So I get that feeling. They're still kids to me. I still call them my little boys. I don't care what they say. They're my little boys. But Lisa's on here. Excellent experience. Thank you, Lisa. And Jamon, he's right here. This guy impacted my career and didn't even know it.
Man.
He's the guy who connected us.
That's awesome, man.
And Lisa said, hello, Mr. Griffin.
Good evening, Miss Lisa. How you doing?
So let me ask you this. Well, let's jump right into the interview and in the conversation right here. What inspired? I know we kind of talk backstage, and I'm excited to hear the story. I already know some of it, but I know what inspired you to actually write your book, and why do you want to help people and share with this knowledge?
So let me first of all, let me tell you what the name of the book came from. I was a drill sergeant instructor back in the early 2000s. We just won't say that, in the early 2000s. And when you went through basic training, every platoon had a motto. And one of my platoons, when I was a drill sergeant leader at the drill sergeant school, they came up with a motto that's been my mantra ever since.
Okay.
And it was don't talk about it, be about it. We create those mottos. Why? So like when we having those bad days, or when we trying to motivate each other, hey, to get out the people on our team going, we had those mottos. So around about in 2020 is when I retired and COVID happened. And so, the world was shut down. And so I started my own on every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Actually, I did it 6 days a week on Facebook. Every morning I would get on there and I would go live and I would just talk about different topics. And my crew on there, they would always say, write the book, write the book. I had a whole bunch of people that kept on saying, write the book. People need to hear what you're talking about. Write the book. Well, they wait. They how do you say, the peer pressure finally got to me. And I talk about them inside the book too, because I got an area in there where I talk about accountability and having the right people in your corner. And my Monday, Wednesday, Friday crew is really the reason why this book was written, because they always encouraged me. And once I said I was going to do it, they held me accountable.
Right. And we got it's in the comments section. We got the website scrolling below. We're going to get into all that. But the couple things you said really resonated with me. Also, I did my basic training at Fort Jackson, South Carolina. And I remember going through basic. We had a motto too. And our motto was always forward. And it stuck with me as well. It stuck with me to the point where, like I was telling you backstage, the book, my very first book that I'm embarrassed about.
It's okay, brother. You did it.
So right here, it's March 4th because it came out on March 4th. It's the only day of the week or the only day in the year that's a marching order. Move forward, as in get outside your comfort zone, as in always forward. I love it. And I understand exactly what you're saying because the military did help shape and mold me through the process to get my first book done. And you got yours done, and yours is doing leaps and bounds because not only that, I don't want to give away too much, but you got workspace that actually, can you see it? See, there you got workspace where you can actually write out your answers, write out your goals, write out your dreams, write in the book and personalize it. And then therefore you can still move on to the next chapter. I think that's a big deal.
Yeah, man. I first of all, always forward. That's 134, man. I never forget. I was in AAAO as a drill sergeant, but 134. I'm pretty sure if you go look at your basic training certificate, it's 134. There's always forward.
Echo Company 134.
Yeah, oftentimes, man, we get books, but I want this book to be more than just a book. I wanted to be something that you could always go back to. So what I did after every chapter, I put like a reflection area in there. So whatever we talked about in that chapter, then I throw some questions out there at you to make you sit down and reflect. But not only but I give you places to write it. Because like we talked in the back room, man, oftentimes we think about stuff, we dream about stuff, but until you write it down and you actually see it, that's the only time you're gonna really truly execute it, man. So that's why I did that reflection piece.
Yeah, I appreciate it. And it's talking about taking action. How important from your training and experiences and living life in the military or any kind of experience that you had, how important is it to actually take action on decisions that you make or just not being stuck or stale and stagnant?
Well, in the military, man, you can't be stuck. You got to make a decision. If you don't make a decision, just like you being in law enforcement, you have to make some decisions. If you don't, somebody gonna die. I mean, it's just the nature of the beast. Either you or somebody around you. So you have to make decisions. And one of the main source of this book is identifying those things that's like roadblocks to get us going forward. So, I think that it's very important that you make decisions on whatever it is and move forward and do it messy. Like you just were talking about your book and how you was embarrassed to do your book. But think about how many people hadn't even put pen to paper. They've been talking about doing the book, but they never did it. And you did. And what happened? You learned some stuff along the way. Yeah. And then what else happened? You went on and wrote some more books because of what you learned from doing it. So sitting back, being afraid to do stuff, it don't help you and it don't help nobody else. God gave us all a gift, man. The richest place in the world is a cemetery, because that's why all the dreams, all the books that was never written, all the songs that had never been sung, man. So I commend you on writing that book, and I just think you, like you said, you just got to keep on moving forward.
Yeah, thank you. And likewise, I appreciate the pep talk. Trust me, I do. But sometimes it's good to hear as well. Believe me, I know. But I know, talking about facing fear, just like you said, how many of us use fear as either an excuse or fear as something that, we got to have it so perfect before we go ahead and pull the trigger or produce that, whatever our creative brain is thinking or going forward with it. You just gave the example, you using me in my book. How many other people have you came across or discussed with or had experiences with that were just stagnant, whether they were fearful or whether they were, what's the word for it, where they paralysis analysis, where they overthink it to the point where they like, it's not perfect, I want to get it perfect, I need to know everything with it, when you're just like, just get it done, put it out there,
man. Hey, you looking at one. Look, I talk about being a drill sergeant, but inside my book I talk about I could have been a drill sergeant a long time ago, but I was afraid to go off Victory Tower. You know what Victory Tower is, right there at Fort Jackson, because I'm afraid of heights. that 34-foot rappel tower was, everybody else, they're afraid to go to drill sergeant school because it's these modules that you have to learn, that you got to learn them verbatim. That was easy to me. That comes natural. But that tower, I was afraid of. But here's the thing about your fears. If you can name your fear, you can tame your fear. See, most people can't even tell you what they're afraid of. Most people just say they're afraid. And some of the examples you just used, perfectionism, or they're afraid that it's not going to go right. They play the what if game and stuff like that. But what if it go right? I always tell people you got to shift the narrative. But going off that tower, I was afraid of. But let me share this with you, Clee. I went on, once I named my fear, which was the fear of heights. Then I said, okay, Gary, you got this fear. Now what do you do? Well, you don't just go off the tower when you get there. It's levels to the thing. You gotta learn how to tie these knots.
Yep.
You gotta learn how to slide and all where it builds the confidence.
Mm-hmm.
I eventually went off of that tower. Not only did I go off that tower, I became a drill sergeant. I became a drill sergeant leader. I became the Fort Jackson Drill Sergeant of the Year for 2002, and was the runner up for the Army for 2002, and then eventually became a sergeant major. But just imagine if I wouldn't have went off that tower. I think my life probably would have been completely different. And oftentimes we allow our fears to hold us back. And on the other side of that fear is success.
Yeah.
You take that step forward.
Yeah. Man, you're a walking motivation speech, man. I'm glad you went off that tower too. I remember the Victory Tower. I saw it from a different angle, as a private going through basic training. So I don't even think we had a choice. But I know I remember the feeling of accomplishment. Yeah. I remember the obstacles that from when we first got there, and thinking that I'm already the best that I can be, or so I thought at that time. Yeah. I've done a lot. I played sports my entire life. I've done everything that I'm going to do. There's nothing else that you can teach me, show me, or that I'm going to do. And you get there and like, I'm not doing this. I don't know how you think you're going to get it out of me. And eventually the tough guy starts to break and crumble, and the new person starts to be reformed, and you start accomplishing things that you never even imagined, dreamed of. And then when you first get to these obstacles, they look like, for lack of a better term, gods in front of you. And then you start tackling these obstacles, and then you realize I'm bigger than these obstacles because I overcame it. Yeah. And that feeling of accomplishment, that's exactly what you're sharing. And I know that's exactly what you're conveying. And don't talk about it, be about it.
I talk about, the crazy part was, man, I had already done Victory Tower when I went to basic training. This ain't my first time going. This is the next time. I'm a staff sergeant at this point. And it's like, okay, it's been a long time since I had to deal with this, man. But it's amazing what's on the other side of fear. Mm-hmm. Everything that you're looking for is on the other side of fear. And most of the things that you're afraid of, it's just your mind playing tricks on you. They say fear is the false evidence of things not realized, or something like that.
The false evidence appearing real.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. Hey, man, listen, I think you and I were on the same path for a long time. We just didn't know it, because I used to do the Facebook Lives, motivational moments, motivational speeches, that got the book out the way and things like that. It developed into this version of the podcast as well. And so, I mean, it's refreshing talking to you and hearing it from your perspective as well, because I mean, I think iron sharpens iron. So we were destined to meet and jump on and have a conversation as well.
Hey, let me throw this at, because I see Lisa made a comment in the comment section, which, you know what, believe it or not, success is a fear for some people. Some people don't move forward because they're afraid of success, because everything that comes along with the success, and they don't think, because actually becoming successful is the easy part. It's actually staying there. That's the hard part. You know what I'm saying? Because that means you got to keep on putting in the work. So let me see.
She's asking when you got to do a TED Talk.
Miss Lisa, believe it or not, it's already in the works.
There we see. That's what I'm talking about.
And I like that she asked that question, because I've already been asked to do one. I'm already putting my stuff. I'm putting my book together actually for a TED Talk, and I've already done the research for. They have a TED Talk community here in Houston, and so it's coming.
Okay. Perfect. Hey, well, we got to advertise that, and we got to get them back on the show once that's out there, because I mean it's only up from here. You're climbing the mountain of success. You're climbing the mountain of victory. Yep, success can be scary, absolutely, like Lisa said. But you're climbing that, and not only that, you're helping people along the way.
That's what it's all about.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, you know, like I ain't said this, man. If I didn't sell one book, I would have been okay. As long as if I sold that one book and it helped that one person, then you know what? That's all that matters to me. Because at the end of the day, I think that's what we was all put on this earth to do, to inspire others.
Right.
So
I believe so too. Has anybody got the book yet and come back to you with any kind of success stories, or like, hey, I was dealing with this in my head. I read your book and man, I'm off to the races.
Man, hey man. First of all, again, I did not expect this book to do with this. I knew I was going to have some people that would serve with me or whatever, and they wanted just to support me or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But my everyone on my chart, I said, I don't want you just to buy the book to support me. I want you to actually tap into it. Man, I don't know how many text messages, Amazon reviews, or just DMs of people saying, "Boy, did you have a camera in my house? Was you looking at me?" It's like you was talking to my soul, and I felt like I had to go do it, and I had to report back to the principal. So yeah, man, I get it every day, man.
That's good. That's good. Changing, especially in the world that we're living in now. And like I started the podcast off with talking about something tragic, and it's sad and it's a shame. And what's saddening and shaming about it is how close to desensitized all of us are to the situation. We hear it so often, we see it so often. It's become the norm, where just like we were talking about, kids in certain or young adults in certain areas of throughout the country have the less remorse than other generations, less care, and that when I'm not throwing jabs, I'm just speaking of what is, because you can see through all the lack of respect, you can see through all the tragedies, that it's a shame that so much chaos is out in the world, but to actually produce something that gives people accountability, structure, discipline. A lot of individuals don't want to hear that or adhere to it, and don't want to acknowledge how important all three of those are. But accountability and discipline and structure are the foundation of what makes us human beings human, so we can move the needle forward, as I like to say on this podcast. And I know you have a chapter in the book discussing accountability. How important is accountability, especially in this day and age?
Man, look, you and we talked about this in the back room. Now you can go far by yourself, but you can go even further when you got other people. The reason why this book, I said it up front, the reason why this book was written because of my Monday, Wednesday, and Friday crew.
Mm-hmm.
I said I wanted to do a book, and they could have left it at that. No, that's not what they did. They were like, hey, where the book at? Where we at on the book?
Yep.
And so by having that accountability, by having some people pushing you, it holds you accountable. You know, I don't believe, I always, people say, well, I ain't motivated. One, I don't believe in motivation. I think motivation is tied to feelings. But when you have discipline, when you have a routine, even on the days when you don't feel motivated, you still gonna get out there and do it.
Yep.
And so I know for a fact, even on the days when I don't want to get on live, and I do it, I've been doing it for 5 years, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I know that I got a crew of people. If I don't get on that and I don't go live at 7 o'clock, at 7:01 in my DM, it's gonna be somebody saying, where you at?
Exactly.
What's going on?
Exactly.
So it ain't just for me. You got a whole bunch of other people that's watching you. So when you start talking about accountability, having some people, also in the book, I'm talking about one of my favorite parts about the book, and a lot of people that reached out to me, I have what they call the board of beliefs. And you know how people say board of directors? Well, I have my board of beliefs. And so I got the mentor, I have the pathfinder, and you have people that you can talk to for different, and each one of them have a different role. They have a different responsibility, but they all help you get to where you're trying to go. And I think it's very important that we do it, So, that's just the way I grew up, man. I have a grandfather and a mom. They, God rest their soul, they're not here right now. But I couldn't do nothing without running stuff through them, even at 40 and 50 years old. My mom passed when I was 40. My grandfather passed at 50. But I still didn't do no execution until I talked to them first.
Gotcha. And yeah, Lisa's saying you should have your book and sell it directly from the website. We got the website scrolling below. And it's also Amazon as well, but he's moving and grooving.
Yep. So Lisa, yeah, you should be able to go to my website that's scrolling right there. You can actually it'll take you to Amazon, and also I do signed copies of the book, and the signed copies of the book look way better than the Amazon copy. That's all I'm gonna say. I put a little special taste on the signed copies. You know, I think if somebody pay for a signed copy of the book, then I think that I owe it to them. And, it's not an auto pen. Matter of fact, this is my signing pen right here that I sent out. Let me see. Lisa said, "Walk the walk, talk the talk. Can't tell someone to do." Oh, say it again. So we was talking about John Maxwell in the background. I'm a member of the John C. Maxwell leadership team, and one of the things he always tells us, you can't give people what you don't have.
Exactly.
If you're in a leadership position and if you're not educating yourself, how can you educate the people around you? And he has this one law called the law of the lid. And just like this bottle top right here. If your leadership level is a 6, your people can go no further than a 5. And two things gonna happen. Either your people gonna stay stagnant, or they gonna leave and they gonna go somewhere where they can learn. So as a leader, and even now I'm retired, but I still take classes. I'm always learning because I'm a lifelong learner. And as in leadership positions, if you want to inspire and motivate people, you got to be a lifelong learner. Because people don't care what you say or what you do. They remember how you make them feel. And one of my biggest phrases is your audio and your video has to match.
I agree. Yep. I agree. And like we were talking backstage as well, where I do the podcast. I have an assistant who sends out the emails, but most of it is all me, the one man rock band. And you say something that's very that resonates, that you got in the book as well. He was throwing jabs. He was throwing jabs, but they were polite ones, and they were okay because it's relevant and it's true too. And I actually knew it, but sometimes I subdue it because the one man rock band can only get so far. That the wolf pack, the lone wolf, can only trudge up that terrain only so much. They see the herd. Lone wolf sees the herd of sheep can only get one at a time. But the wolf pack, they can set up a plan. They can set up a perimeter, and they can go ahead and circle up around that whole sheep. And then they instead of just getting one, they can get a handful of them, and they can start. Hey, I like this. I like wings. That wolf can get the wings. The other one like neck bone. Other one got all the neck bones you want. You come up with a plan. Everyone's happy. You start working together. A rising tide raises all ships. So I understand exactly what you're saying. I know you explain that as well. Is to come up with a team of superpower friends. And not everyone has the same talents. Each one of us have different talents. So therefore, you thrive on the talents. You thrive on the best of each and every one of them. And putting everyone on your back, you're able to soar.
Yeah, spot on, man. I know that I wasn't successful in my military career by myself. I talk about that. I talk about the crab in the bucket mentality. You're only gonna go as far as the people that's in your circle. And I know I ain't saying nothing that people ain't heard before. But all you really got to do is look at the 5 people that you hang around the most. If it's 5 intellectual people, then guess what? You're going to become the 6th one.
Yep.
But if it's 5 people that's just talking about people that's doing nothing, you're going to become one of those. Right. And so I always encourage people to get out of your comfort zone. Put yourself in rooms where you're not the smartest person in the room. But I promise you, if you put yourself in that room where you're not the smartest person in that room, eventually you're going to be having to go to another room because you became too smart for that room.
Yep.
And I think that's where a lot of people get stuck because they're afraid to go in rooms. Sometimes the best thing you can do is just sit in that room and be quiet and learn.
And absorb, yep.
Yeah, man, I'm telling you, man, that's how I've done it. I mean, I can't speak for nobody else, but it definitely has been the cheat code for me.
So someone who's just now they're young, they're in school or getting out of college or graduating or soon to be, they're developing their life plan. They want to go in the law enforcement or become an EMT or join the military or whatever, or maybe something else. They just want to better themselves and go after what they believe their path is. They don't have the mentors. They don't have the positive reinforcements. And you said you've got your board of not beliefs, but the board of beliefs. Yeah. What would you suggest to them to help establish their foundation, establish their plan so they can start building on their own?
So 2 things. First thing, a mentor. So a lot of people always get this confused too, because people think, well, I heard people say, well, ain't nobody mentoring me. Well, you know what? Nobody's gonna mentor you unless you ask them, because everybody can't mentor you.
Right.
All my mentors are people that I seen something in them that I like, and I say, you know what? I want to be like that. They got something in them, and so what I did was I reached out. And in this day and age, with LinkedIn and Facebook and all this other, because most mentors don't have a problem with mentoring people. But again, like what we said before, closed mouths don't get fed. So if you're looking for a mentor, you got to ask. I would encourage them to get, because we all need mentors. Even when I retired from the military, I needed mentors to help me through my transition process, because I ain't never transitioned before. I could sit here and talk to people that's in uniform that ain't never transitioned before, but how well they gonna mentor me? They gonna tell me what they heard.
Right.
So it's very important to get somebody that already went in that direction.
Right.
Put yourself around some people. You can get indirect mentorship just by looking at podcasts and stuff like that. But I would tell them, just because they don't have a mentor or they not around people that don't think like them, don't let that be the thing that stopped them.
Right.
In the age that we live in now, use that cell phone for more than playing Candy Crush, and I guarantee you they can get whatever they want. If they can look at TikTok, people give TikTok a bad name. There's a lot of mentors. I get a lot of stuff from TikTok.
Yeah.
People give Facebook and Instagram. It's all about what you look at. So I would encourage that young man and woman, because I grew up in a house where the phrase "I can't" was profanity. My mom, me and my brother could not use "I can't" in my mom's presence. She would have rather us use profanity. So you can do anything you put your mind to. Whatever it is that you say you want to do, do it. But I also talk about this in this book. Identify why you want to do it. Identify, because if you're just doing it because other people want you to do it, you ain't gonna have, your heart ain't gonna be in it.
Right.
When I was a drill sergeant, every cycle I would give soldiers 3x5 cards, and I would tell them to write down 3 reasons why they came to basic training. Because there's gonna be some rough days here in basic training. You're gonna want to quit, and when you want to quit, you go back and look at that 3x5 card. If the stuff on that card don't keep you here, then you wrote down the wrong things on there. You need to understand your why. A lot of people do stuff and they don't know why they do it. Because, well, my dad was a cop. My uncle was in the military. My mother was a first responder. But what do you want to do? So understand and identify what your why is.
Right. Man, you breaking it down, making it sound so simple and simplistic. I like it. Knowing the why gets you to, it does, man, basic training. You know what got me? Basic training was a necessary evil. I had fun looking back and going through it now. But actually looking back on it, memories for days, experiences. But I know football training in the summertime, I think was the foundation that set me. A high school football 2-a-days. I went back, graduated basic. I went back and I saw my high school coach, and he said, "Yeah, what do you think was harder, basic training or 2-a-days?" I said 2-a-days.
2-a-days. 2-a-days.
And I said, and he's like, "Really?" I'm like, "Yes," because that was my first exposure to anything like that. That's back in the heat when we for real practiced in the real heat. It sun up to sundown. You got water. I've seen people cramping. Oh, you've seen all the works. So I believe all that, living that life prepared me at not only just for basic training, for police academy, for everything like that. It gave me a foundation for something to fall back on. So when those days did get rough, I was like, well, I've been here before. It sucks right now. I don't want to do it, but I know I can get through this and be okay. There is an out. You just got to get through it to the out.
When you stop allowing that little voice in the back of your head to tell you to quit, because your body is capable of doing way more than you think it is. Basic training was fun for me too. I ain't gonna lie. For many, because of the same reason you just said. I have been playing organized sports since I was 7 years old. And I knew that my coaches was gonna put hands on me before my drill side was. So what they had to say really didn't mean much to me, man. But I enjoyed it. And as you might not remember most of the people that you served in the military with, but you're always gonna remember basic training, and you definitely gonna remember who your drill side was. So you absolutely right, my brother.
Yeah.
I like what Lisa said. You absolutely right, Lisa. You can't hang with pigeons and you think you're gonna soar with them eagles. You can't. You can't. You
Yep.
can't, man.
Yeah, like she said,
But you know, and that's hard. It's hard because again, another one of those things I talk about in the book, man. You know, and I know you probably experienced the same thing. Every time you came home after basic training and went home, it seemed like the people that you hung out with, you didn't hang out with them as much. It's not that they was bad. It's just you've been exposed to some other stuff, and stuff was different for you. And it got to the point where I used to want to come home every opportunity I got, to the point where, you know what, hey mama, won't y'all come out here and let me show y'all something? I really don't care about going to the house no more. Yeah. And that's what happened when you expose yourself to different things. And if I had it, if I was king for a day, everybody, like some of the other countries that I've been to, would have to serve at least 3 years in the military. You don't have to make it a career like I did. But because like what you talked about, how the world, the reason why the world is, and I can't speak for the world, but the reason why I feel America is the way it is right now, how divided it seems to me right now, is because a lot of people, they never left the community that they've been in, and that's all they know. And the biggest social experiment that you would ever have is the military. Same with law enforcement, because you know you got people from different creeds, different colors, different nationalities, and y'all all have to work together as a team. And I think if we just had, another reason why I wrote this book clear, and I'm gonna shut my mouth up, is I can't fix the world, but I can fix the world around me, one person at a time. And so people be looking for leaders to do this and leaders to do that. They can do it themselves. If I can write a book, anybody can write a book. I'm just gonna keep it real. So I just wanted to share that, man, because I think it's so many people waiting for somebody to hit this magic button for everything to get fixed. If each one of us just did our part and fix the world, you can't change the world, but you can change the world around you. This world will be a whole lot better.
Very much, very much. I agree wholeheartedly with both hands. Absolutely.
Not both hands.
Both hands. Yep. So you were telling, I want to take a step back here. Just talking about how you have been on Facebook doing motivation. And so if anyone's looking to find you on social media, where could they expect to find you? What kind of topics should they be expecting to explore with you or learn with you or about you? And what programs do you have going on currently throughout those social media?
So if they're looking for me on Facebook, I mean, I just got my own Don't Talk About It, Be About It page is being built as we speak on Facebook. But if they looking just to hear some motivation stuff on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, you can find Gary Griffin on Facebook. Okay. And I friend everybody. I don't have no issue. Somebody send me a friend request, I know 9 times out of 10, even if I don't know them, it's because they done heard about what I do on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So they can come on there. I'm really talking about uplifting stuff, man. In a world that got so much negativity going on, all I talk about is positive stuff. My topic on Wednesday was the haters are not the problem. The haters are not the problem. It's how you respond to the haters that's the problem. Yeah. And so and here's the thing, man. I never know what I'm gonna talk about on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday until I hit that live button, and then the good Lord tell me what to talk about. But I'm apolitical. I'm gonna remain that way because of my military service. So you'll never hear me talk. I don't talk politics on my page because it ain't worth it. Because there's 2 things I learned: you don't talk politics and you don't talk religion. So I don't talk about neither one of those when I'm live. And the way I open up my show, I always say, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, family, depending on where you're at in the world today. It is your boy Griff, and I'm here to provide some inspiration, some motivation, or just to get your day started. So it's a whole bunch of topics that can happen in that day, and I try to keep it. When I'm live, I go a little bit longer. I'm not even gonna lie, because it's based off who talking, and it'd be people on every day. But you can find me on Spotify on Don't Talk About It, Be About It, and I take whatever I talk about and I make it about 5 minutes, because I know everybody's not on Facebook. I know everybody, but I also know everybody don't have the time to look at these lives or whatever, but they have time to maybe driving from home to work. Yep. They can just turn on Spotify, so they can find the Don't Talk About It, Be About It podcast on any wherever you listen to your favorite podcast.
Gotcha. Thank you for sharing that. So, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you guys subscribe to those pages of Facebook. Get your motivation on Spotify. Make sure don't talk about it, be about it on Spotify. So when you're going to and fro, if you're stuck in traffic, you can refill that cup. You can refill that influence in you, so you can go ahead and take on the world and be a champion out there. I appreciate all that. And let's talk about if we talked about how to get the book. Don't talk about it, be about it on Amazon or the website scrolling below. It's also in the description box and the comment section. But if anyone wanted a signed copy, or if anyone wanted to go ahead and bring you on their podcast and have a discussion with you about your book, how would they go about doing that?
Definitely reach out to me either on Facebook through my DM, or they can reach out to me on the page right there. I have a message board there, or they can also they can email me at garrett.griffin43@gmail.com. I say it again, garrett.griffin43@gmail.com, man. And I'll make sure that I'll send them the link. I have a square link where they can actually get a signed copy of the book.
Okay, perfect. So there's no excuse for anyone to be out there and have that knowledge and not be able to attain it and get it between their fingertips somehow. So let me ask you this one final question as we wrap up.
Yes, sir.
We had a great conversation. I appreciate you coming on. But through the course of conversation, I may have forgot to ask you a question, or I may have jogged your memory on something that you wanted to cover and we didn't cover. Is there anything else that you would like to share with us right now? The floor is yours.
Hey, man, I just want to first say thank you for having me on this on the show, man. I love every opportunity that I get to get and be able to put a little positivity or something in the world. Or if I see somebody out there that's doing something, I love to support people, because that's another thing that I truly believe in. You support those. And so I thank you for having me on here. I just want to tell people, man, whatever your dream is, do it. Don't worry about other people, but it's not their dream, it's your dream. Whatever that thing that's burning deep down inside of you, do it. Because trust, and you don't have to have all the answers, because if the good Lord put it into you, trust and believe, He gonna give you the resources and all the support you need. But you got to get started.
Right.
I think I have a section in the book where I talked about, have you ever tried to steer a parked car? You can't do it. It ain't till you put that vehicle in drive that you can move the steering wheel. Because when it's in park, you can't move the steering wheel. But the minute you put that gear shift in the drive, now you can move the steering wheel around. It just requires you to get the movement, man. So, Clee, man, I just appreciate you for having me on here. Just consider, if you need me to come back on here, we ain't got to talk about. I talk about anything, man. Because I just like to talk, man. I'm an old country boy from Alabama, man. So you know how we just like to talk, man. But I really like what you're doing, man. Keep on doing what you're doing, because you helping somebody. Somebody is helping. The people that you bring on this show, or whatever, you helping somebody. So I truly appreciate you for having me on this opportunity to present you to show my book. Let me put my book next to me too. For you to actually give me the opportunity to put the word out there about my book. Man.
Absolutely.
Thank you for supporting me. I truly appreciate it.
Absolutely. I mean, it's very easy to do. I enjoyed everything. I enjoyed meeting you. I enjoyed our phone conversation. I enjoyed this conversation. I enjoyed reading through the book. I enjoyed learning about the process. Everything that you're doing. It's good. Nice to see positivity and motivation being put out there with everything that's coming, all the arrows of life coming against us every single day. So again, I know sometimes it can be daunting, but I know you're disciplined enough that you're going to get up and do it whether you feel like it or not. And not only that, you're helping people through the process, and I love that. So I appreciate you making time to come on the show and blessing this show. Trust me, I feel blessed. I know everyone else who got the piece of you is blessed as well. I want everyone to make sure you get a copy of the book, subscribe to his pages, because there's more to come. And he already said he's got things in the work for the pipeline. He's going to be on certain talk shows and talks and discussions. I know he's got formulations of other books that is coming down the pipeline. So he's not even done yet. He's just getting started. And the ball going
I'm retired. I'm retired, but I ain't expired.
Man. Yeah, man. So again,
I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna be quiet.
Yeah.
I aspire to inspire until I expire. That is my goal. To aspire to inspire until I expire.
Man, that's the tree that keeps on giving.
Man, I've been blessed, man. Coming from where I come from, anything, if I didn't do it, I'd be wrong, man. Because all the blessings coming from the place that I come from, where people told me I wasn't going to amount to anything, and statistically I ain't supposed to be here. Nah, I can't sit here. Too many people done things. There's too many people that's on my shoulders that I got to carry the weight now that they not here anymore, and I refuse to just sit back and not do anything.
Right. And I appreciate. And speaking of that, I know we're wrapping up and closing. I'm sorry, but it just reminded me of those. How important is it for people to know the rank that you obtained in the United States Army in the years of service? So when it's not an easy task to do, it's not something that I can't say that I have a command sergeant major retired in my family. I don't have one next door. I don't have access to one unless I get you on this show and on this podcast.
Well, so you got access to me now. You guys,
my man. See, that's what I love to hear. But how important is it for you to actually put that information out there so it for image and likeness for anyone like, you know what, I can do this because he did it. It gives others who are trying to come up through the process permission to actually go be the best version of themselves.
Oh man, look, only 1% of the enlisted population ever make the rank of sergeant major. And I've had a couple of times where some of my friends allow me to go back home and talk to the youth that live in the same projects that I grew up in, to show them that this guy that talk crazy, sound country with the gold tooth in his mouth, I'm sitting in rooms with general officers advising them on what they should and what they shouldn't do.
Right. And
so have a master's degree, leadership, maxwell. It's all about what you want to do. And again, I grew up in a house with a mom where we couldn't say I can't. And so you tell me I can't do something, just like how your show started. You tell me I can't, and I'm gonna show you I can. You know what I'm saying? And so to make this rank is not easy, and then to make this rank as a guy that looked like me. The last job I had, and I was in Radcliffe, Fort Knox is like right there in Radcliffe, Kentucky. Let's just say I sat in a lot of rooms where I was the only person that looked like me in the room. And so, I still carried a whole lot of weight for people that look like me. So just in case somebody said, well, he's not qualified to be in this room. So I always carry that with me anywhere I go. It ain't just about me. It's about the next person. I want when the next person comes, that next young guy that look like me, can't nobody say, well, he can't come into this job. Because we have the blueprint already that to show they can happen.
Right.
I hope that answers the question, man.
That very much so. Thank you for answering the question the way you did. I appreciate you for sharing that. I think that was important to get that information out there for so many to hear. So many to hear. So yeah, absolutely you did. Yes.
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
This is awesome. Man, I can't believe an hour and passed already, man. I feel like we should, be on here like Uncle Shay that we should be on here about 12 hours, man. I got something. I'm just messing with you, man.
Hey, I'm telling you, I have fun doing these. That the time goes by quick, and that's why I'm like, man, I got to condense these questions because we're gonna get off topic and start talking about things, and I would like certain things I want to hit, but it's fun. It's amazing. I love doing these podcasts. I love getting this information out here, and the time flies by just like that. Yeah, man.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it, man.
Yep. And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Black and Blue. The podcast is just for you, where we go live weekly at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And when we go live with a special guest, whether they're rookie season or retiree. We talk about their training experiences, their publications, and we didn't fall short with retired Command Sergeant Major Garrett Griffin of the United States Army. First responder, law enforcement, it's going hand in hand because it's of service. And not only is it of service, we're always giving back. We're moving the needle forward, and we're humanizing the badge as we do it. I'm your host. I go live once a week at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm your motivational speaker, your empowerment coach, your author, and your favorite baker's Coach Clee coming at you. Yes, Ecclesiastics. You can find me in Crimes Code 302. Ecclesiastics, where I'm the coldest code switching detective, and you spell my name CLEE, which stands for Continuing Law Enforcement Edutainment, because we entertain and we educate through this process, and we're going to have a lot of fun doing it. Got a special guest coming next week. I really want to tell you who they are, but I'm not going to, because I got to leave you with a cliffhanger so you keep coming back. So make sure you tag, like, share, and subscribe, and we will be right back here next weekend at 7 p.m. Take care, all of you. Tim 4 over and out. Appreciate y'all.
Sergeant Be Safe is inviting you to watch this exciting and fun podcast, Black and Blue.
It airs weekly at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it's just for you. When we go live with a dynamic law enforcement officer or first responder, whether they're rookie, seasoned, or retiree. We talk about their trainings, experiences, and their publications. We've had tremendous guests already, and we have many, many more tremendous guests coming down the pipeline. You want to subscribe.
Sergeant Be Safe is here.
Black and Blue is on various podcasts, especially on YouTube, so make sure you guys subscribe. And don't forget about me, Sergeant Be Safe. I have my own channel too, so make sure you subscribe to that as well. We have many adventures, learning experiences, and we have fun while we do it. You guys don't want to miss it. Not only with the special guest that's being featured, you'll see video skits of me and the bad guys, Rob You Blind, Misdemeanor, Treacherous Tony, Chance Wilder, aka Wild Chance, and Sapphire Steel. And that's your tip of the day to get you on your way.
Just the facts, ma'am.
Black as you is, there's a whole lot of blue still shining through.
I'm not a bad cop.
I never once said you were. It would be real simple if the problem was bad cops. It ain't.